Okay. Early timer. That's fine. Hey, I'm Tigdwan, and I'm going to be playing Super Bonk. It is the, I think it's the third title in the Bonk series. The first two were on TurboGrafx 16, which I've never played or known anyone who's actually owned a TurboGrafx 16. This is Super Nintendo and Super Bonk. Then there was a second Bonk, Super Bonk 2, although that was only a Japanese release. And then I forget actually where the fifth one was. You skip a whole bunch of levels, and it's any percent, because there are a whole bunch of routes that you can take, and we take the very shortest one, the Water River right now. We're not going to do a glitch coming up here because it is not marathon safe. Normally we would glitch through that wall there and it would shoot us all the way down, but there's a pretty good soft lock chance, so we have to do this very slow old way. That was a pretty new strat that I partially helped discover by accident. Water River might be my favorite level name. Get the first instance of Crab Bonk, which is an intended mechanic of the game. And definitely intended for the speedrun here, because you're much faster in crab form. Just zigzagging in and out here, avoiding those giant Botox-lipped fish. Definitely don't want to get hit by them, because that then screws up the next level. This is a bizarre game. It's really wonderfully bizarrely charming. Bonk is weird. I mean, his head is gigantic, but it's mainly the enemies that are just so bizarre, and things like turning into a crab. I mean, how many games do you do that in? He's a caveman, yet we're in modern times right now. Like, nothing makes sense in this game, which is what's great. Gonna come to the first of our boss fights, Weekhead. We skip a lot of the boss fights. Nice and easy. Crab praise. I'm trying to think of how many actual in-stage things you're going to see about that. There are 6 total, maybe 4? I think this is the only transition we see. Which I can't remember exactly what's going on in the plot here. If there's some part of it where he does get sent back through time. So he's a caveman, but he's in modern times, and then he gets sent back in time, but he comes back to the present. It's all very, very muddled. I mean, it doesn't need to make sense. There's a level that's not in the speedrun where you're in space. It's all fantastic stuff. Giant dinosaur legs. This is Hudson Soft. They also did Adventure Island, so I think they have a thing for cavemen. A jammin' soundtrack. Oh, missed that. That was nice. I'm terrible at those stairs. No, that's coming up later. I was thinking we had this, so I'm running the US version. Most people who run this game will do the Japanese version because there are a few boss fights that are technically easier, though you can do them just as quickly in the US version. But the US has a few advantages too. So another weird level where we're just in this house. Doing a secret here to get to some of the best music of the game. It's not my favorite song, but it's a lot of people's favorite song. It's one of the most difficult levels we have. Need to get down here to the bottom really early on. Just wait a little bit. Get the work token, and we're done with this level. We just get to listen to the music for about a minute more. Hudson not having a thing for games making sense in general. I can see that. This is again a part of the game where I don't know if we're in the past or present. It feels like we're in the present since we're flying over a city. The worst designed city I've ever seen. How can there be roads here? When you have like a minute and a half just to watch a level, these are the things that you start to think about. And we just want to hang out down here basically because if we go up and shoot the coins, it creates some additional lag, which adds up to more time, which is no bueno. Oh, do they call it Tokyo in the Japanese version? And I don't like how they put Chinatown as 2 words. So I feel like that's always 1 word. Now we're going to be in outer space without his spacesuit. It looks like he's just holding his breath. Which is not what you want to do if you ever find yourself in the vacuum of space. Just bouncing around there. Here's the trap skip, which I'm almost certainly going to blow. I'm going to miss this, I know it. Oh yeah, definitely got too low. If you have like a 2-pixel window, if you can jump in there and do the spin quick enough, you can actually stay above the invisible blocks and then bounce off the wall and just climb up there. It saves about 14 seconds. It's pretty crucial for the speedrun, but marathon's not needed. First appearance of Egar. Rage backwards. US-Japanese difference. Japanese version, I think, has 3 different phrases that come out for rage. You only have rage. I don't know if the Japanese ones mean anything different, or if they're just like 3 forms of basically saying rage. Now, we're kind of on the moon again. It's really just a bizarre setting. Kind of concentrate here. Because this is going to happen. To recollect. Of course. Of course it goes like this in a marathon. You normally want to have your power up all the way through these 3 jumps, but pretty choked it on that first one. Lead Ostrich, the world record holder, is not going to be happy about that. There's a skip here that I'm not doing as well, where you try to ride the rage past all these blocks, but there's a pretty good chance you're going to get crushed into a crab. And that's basically a reset. Because you have to go out of your way to get back into normal bonk form to be able to climb this waterfall. Takes about a minute and a half. Really enjoy the kind of the wall physics in this game, and they did not carry that over the same way into Super Bonk 2, which is kind of a bummer. You can't climb up walls in Super Bonk 2 like you can in this by just bouncing off of them, which there'll be an entire level later where there's a tower climb. This is one of the few US benefits. We can actually skip through that text right there. It's just saying how to play the minigame, and here is telling us that we did bad. Japanese version, you just have to wait for it. Oh, there's Lead Ostrich in chat. Look at this first secret block, there we go. Avoided that candy. That was the thing I was most worried about for this run, because I do not really know what to do if you get that out and reset. We have kind of one of the RNG things coming up here for the US version, but I got the good RNG, so I got the automatic Crab Crush. Otherwise I would have had to try a backup strat of jumping when my head was right about at the block. So get more jams, but this time I actually have to shoot these tokens. I want to do it as quickly as possible to reduce lag. I think the thing about this level that bothers me the most is when they have the weird eye hieroglyphics right next to each other, and they're both facing the same direction. It just eats at me. It should be symmetrical. Kind of avoid that blue thing. Takes away a heart, one of the heart containers, which you can get back later in the level, but I have done it enough times where I've lost it to where I just avoid getting it. These Na tokens, actually, they do a little damage, but they never disappear. Whereas anything that has an icon on it, that will eventually disappear, so like I can avoid having to get those negative blue hearts, not worry about it creating too much extra lag. Got that warp token there. Almost missed it, and that's like the most important thing in the entire level. We're gonna go from one flying crab level to another. Where we again just kind of avoid going through the middle part of the tokens. Not as great of a jam for this level, but you know, it's not bad. All the music in this game is really good. The only thing that Super Bonk 1 is missing is a pig copter, and they brought that to Super Bonk 2. But one of the kind of the nice things about Super Bonk is that there is very little to almost no RNG in it. Enemies are always going to be where they are every time you run it. The one downside to the enemy stuff is that they can respawn if you like go off that part of the screen. So that you can get into trouble a little bit. It's not as forgiving as other games where when you kill an enemy, they're just totally gone from the area. But this is also a level as the mental preparation for the next level. Jungle and trying not to get hit by the mosquitoes so that we can keep the power-ups. So that's my focus here, because I don't want to have to do the normal battle against the heart boss. That is not where it's supposed to go. Still fine though. Still have not lost. Oh my god. There we go. Okay, so that was pretty horrible for the rest of the level, but successfully managed to get the kind of crazy bonk power-up, which is extremely helpful coming into this boss rush here in Memory Cave. Specifically because of this boss here. Normally we'd have to hit each one of those little guys. And this coming boss, you'll see, has 4 hit boxes, basically. We can hit them all at once using this ground pound. Boss is dead. It's so nice to have the power-up, because it's not a fun boss, it's boring. You'll get to see here Weak Head again. This is I think the only boss that we see twice, because we skip all the bosses. These bosses would appear in the normal levels had we not been getting warps and such. Damage there, so I'll have to do a few more hits. Oh, and that also means that I won't be in ostrich form. Which is a shame. In ostrich form, you get to, like, poop out explosive eggs. Had to listen to the audio cue there to know when to jump. This is a really tough boss to do perfectly, because to get in the amount of spins you need to come down exactly to do damage it's really tough and tight. I only got one of the instances where it was actually like really spot on. Comet Empire. Another very just normal boss that you'd see in any sort of game. Got rid of 2 of the snowman, so that reduces lag. Nice kill there. Just showing off that Bonk can shoot his head off. Now we're coming to one of the big differences between the Japanese and US game, which is this fight. It is much easier in the Japanese. You basically just get to do a little rage attacks at this guy twice. Here you have to do these bounces, timing right, to get a 3 cycle in. Which I'm hoping to do, but no guarantees. close. It's close to missing that. Just need one more of those. There we go, 3-cycled them. So it's pretty easy to 3-cycle in the Japanese version. You have to do that whole kind of dance there for the US version. What even is this game? This game is super bonk. This game is amazing. There is King Drool, who I think looks exactly like Reptar from, what was it, Rugrats on Nickelodeon? Although he might predate Reptar. Getting here to the tower climb, where we get to show off a lot of wall jumping. Normally, it's telling you to use rage to climb up this. No, we don't do that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Second try on that, not bad. Not a bad tower climb. It's no lead ostrich climb, but it's not bad. Love the can you sign. No idea why they're there. It's like it's taunting you. No reason to avoid these, it's just something to do. No meat. Another one of these. Should have done 4 jumps there. You want to keep even spins. Coming up here, there are going to be another section where there are intended invisible blocks that we're just going to ignore. Normally, they want you to build a bridge there. Not supposed to get that. Luckily, there's this right there. It's trying to force you to be big, but we have ways around it. Some non-original music in the game, sampling the saber dance. Ugh. That's not good at all. Okay, saved it. That was sloppy. We are all ready for the final fight. Which means it is time for me to make sure that I have the jump order for the 3rd cycle of this fight. I think they might reuse that animation from the very first cutscene there. These claws look very Dr. Robotnik-like. Shouldn't be getting pinched by them. You actually do have to move slightly back and forth between these pinches. You can't just, there's not like one specific safe zone. Gonna try to damage boost up on top of him here. Almost missed it. Got in the early hit. We have jump. Hesitation. Then we have one fake, one has. Jump. Normal. Two fake, jump. Hesitation. There we go. Now we have giant bonk. If Drool didn't have this candy, he'd be fine. And that's it. Then we get a nice rounding out of the story. This is how it starts out with Bonk getting trapped in that, and now Drool is. Irony. Although I don't think it actually is irony. Yes, he can headbutt cannonballs, and we don't need to talk about that. Super Bonk ending. This is my favorite song of the entire game. But this is Super Bonk for Super Nintendo. It was a really, really fun game, and I don't know why more people don't like play it or know of it. I had never heard of it until this past year, and like I don't know why it's not a really popular game. It's really unique, and it's tons of fun. So thank you to Obscurathon for letting me show it off. I will be showing off next Soul Seraph, which is going to be on the PC. That would be, hoisted on his own petard would be the right phrase for what happened to Drool. The director of this game is just known as Angela. We love you, Angela. But yeah, that's basically it for Super Bonk. There actually is the very ending of this is kind of my favorite thing in the entire game, and it's coming up in about like 10 seconds. We get the credit for Angela shown. That's awesome.